So Todd, I hear you're on a gluten-free kick.
It's awesome.
How's it working out?
It's awesome. It's amazing. Feel lightheaded. I feel less shit in my pants.
Less shit in your pants.
But
Dan, can you hand this to Todd?
Nice big slice of cake for you, buddy.
That's some funfetti I got at Bud in Maryland.
Is
last
this
night.
real?
Just
Is
leave
this
it
real?
in front of him the whole show. Just leave him in front.
Smell that. If you don't want it, it's for Dan.
I'm gonna snort the motherfucker.
How good?
Crackhead.
You feel better
man.
now, right?
Yeah, man. I will snort the shit out of this motherfucker right here. I will suck your dick for this cake right here, man. I will paint your taint with my tongue.
Who's this guy?
I'm Charlie Gluten, motherfucker. I will snort yeast off of your chest, Steven.
Yeast off the chest.
There's no way you could get yeast off of Steven's chest because it would just stick because it would melt in.
Well, then it'd be bread then. At that point, he'd be so hot and sweaty, he'd make his own bread in his armpit. Yeah, man.
Hate you both.
Thank you. This wouldn't happen to be gluten-free, would it?
No, give
Definitely
it
not.
to Dan.
Eat it.
I mean, it is. Eat
Dan,
it.
that's for you. I brought that back.
No, just
from
leave it in
last
front of
night.
Todd the entire show.
It's a really good. All right, you ready to get started? Let me.
You miss it, Todd?
Yeah,
You miss
man.
That cake was really good. by the way.
Man, yo, man, I will.
All right. That's Charlie Gluten, everybody.
Yeah.
it? Charlie Gluten.
Charlie Gluten. Jared.
I will jack you for that motherfucker right there.
So this is a clean show. Jared.
My bad.
Shut up, Charlie Gluten.
I just think of
Sorry.
Dave Chappelle. That's all I think of.
Jared Polin. FroKnowsPhoto.com and welcome to RAWtalk episode number 208. Next week's special show is 209 will be our special show. So last week we didn't do a show
We're
because
back.
we were filming other projects for
Upcoming projects.
for my app, and we needed to shoot the videos, get the videos edited. So that's what Dan's been focusing on. So we chose not to do a show, but we've got this show, and then we have a special show hopefully coming out on Christmas Eve, which we'll call. We're not going to tell them what we're calling it yet.
It's the Christmas show though. The most important holiday.
Definitely
Right.
Christmas, not
it's
holiday.
definitely the Christmas,
show.
is what I'm saying,
Yeah.
right, Dan? Christmas
Yep.
show? Yeah.
We'll
It's a
see.
I
Christmas
think there's
show.
something else that week going on too, but definitely the Christmas show.
show.
Can't think of anything.
Saturday morning cartoons?
That's
All
it.
right.
That's
Yeah.
it.
You
Yep,
guys suck.
You got it. You got it.
So welcome to 208. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, including flying solo, and we're going to start off by talking about the FroKnowsPhoto Show episode number 2,
Yeah.
which was filmed and created in Cologne, Germany.
It smelled good there. Cologne.
So this was actually a high-end production, huge high-end production.
The biggest.
You guys can
As in
check
me
it.
and Todd.
You can check it out at FroKnowsPhoto.com/show2.
Show
The number 2.
You haven't made that yet, have you?
No, I haven't made it yet. No, because FroKnowsPhoto.com/show has the first show.
Episode 1.
But what I will probably end up doing is have a page made for the show so that it looks like a show page and like a TV screen.
Shows?
No, just show.
Just show.
FroKnowsPhoto.com/show.
The big show.
So this episode took us to Germany. Todd, do you want to paint the picture of what the show was
Yeah, man,
about?
I will. I mean, again, we shot this one more like a documentary.
Yeah.
The broad idea was like, all right, we're going to go to Photokina, see some gear, have you take some pictures. But I kind of had an idea that it would be more about meeting the fans, and it would be kind of fan-centric. And then as we got there, it really kind of molded itself, and we figured out some cool things to do while we were there.
Yeah, we definitely, it evolved day
Yeah.
by day as we were going.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with the photos that I was able to capture. I was very calm during this entire process.
Oh, my
so
God.
It was the photos.
And Dan, here's the clips I'm going to send you.
You ready? Here, let me just go and say something. A good place to stop. Yeah. No, I was pausing so that I could continue as soon as the bike went. I get really excited to meet. Can I talk over the clips?
You wouldn't be able to hear yourself because you're yelling. And welcome back to the smiling Jared.
Yeah, it happens from time to time.
Time to time?
I actually hear it happens with a lot of celebrity types.
Well, once we have a celebrity on the show, we'll excuse that.
I'll just call it a creative type, and I get anxious because I want to go shoot photos, and if I don't shoot photos, then I get anxious that I'm not going to be able to get enough photos to get good stuff. But we know that I tend to get good stuff.
You always, you always get the photos.
I think you hate being told what to say.
I
think
do.
that's what it is.
Well, I hate
just
being
free flow,
guided.
and
Yes.
we usually have a general bullet point list or outline of what we kind of want you to
hate
hit,
it. I hate
certain
it.
notes and points, and you end up just flying through it when you free flow. But when we actually script it
That's
out, to
why
a
I don't
certain
like scripting
extent,
out anything.
But when we
Well,
say script it out, we
yeah.
just say, "Hey, Jared, talk about this."
No.
Talk about it.
Well, I could talk about it, but then when you try to hit certain words and bullshit, like when we're doing a 5-minute portrait, I could just do a 5-minute portrait because it's just me being me.
I can just talk out my ass.
But that's why a show is way different than a 5-minute portrait, in my opinion.
Right. Anyway, very happy with the images. The guys, the girl, whatever. You can watch the show. Notes?
Well, I have some notes on the show. First of all, we shot it with literally like a skeleton crew. It was Todd, me, you.
So
that's
Todd
one and a
Todd.
half.
basically me plus
One and a half.
a little bit of Todd.
Because
we shot on XC10.
We shot on XC10s. We shot on a 5D Mark IV for all the OTFs, all the pretty shots of you talking in front of like the Corner Dome. We used the 50mm 1.2 for a lot of the OTFs to get that nice creamy bokeh. Oh. We shot with the 24-105 f4 for certain shots, and then we also shot with the 11-24 for stills really only. Yeah. XC10s were great.
They were all the run and gun stuff.
Very run and gun.
So
no rig, just literally handheld.
We love using. I mean, I know you love using them. Except what was
in daylight?
In daylight,
That's
yes.
it. In
Well,
daylight,
that's
yeah.
what the 5D Mark IV is going to be great for.
Yep.
Is other stuff where it's not run and gun, even though it's great for focusing because of the dual pixel AF. But tell me the issue you had with what Todd was doing with his finger up here.
Crushing.
With his finger up there.
Yeah, on that dial that moves.
Oh my God.
I was just crushing. I mean, what I was doing was crushing.
Crushing that ISO for sure. So we were in at the Corner Dome. There's a harsh shadow from the Corner Dome itself. So
you might think we've made a guide, a FroKnowsPhoto guide to DSLR video.
Shut up.
But so we had an ND filter on because it was literally broad daylight. We wanted to shoot at like f4 or f5.6, something like that, a little bit shallow.
Yeah.
So we had an ND filter all the way stopped down. And I told Todd basically just ride the filter instead of the ISO, so you're not cranking up to like 2,000 when you get in the shadows and then back to 160 in the daylight.
No.
So the one area you're shooting a little guy playing a guitar, and Todd cranks it up, and I look back and I'm like, all right, he's got it, everything's cool. I go back to dump the footage that night. It was like 20,000 ISO you shot at, and it was just completely grainy and noisy.
I think you mentioned it to me right after that, and then I
because I looked at your camera, I'm like, hey, just making sure we still have the same settings, and I'm like, dude, you're at 20,000 ISO.
But that's only one part of it.
Which is the max of that camera.
I don't know what I hit while we were at Photokina on that damn camera.
And the other issue we had was, for some reason, Todd hit the time-lapse feature, which is on the front of the camera. Like, you can just simply hit the screen that switches the time-lapse
I don't even know how I did it.
And so for an entire day, half a day.
No, it wasn't entire.
It was half a day. It was when we switched memory cards.
So I didn't know about this.
No, I refuse to tell you any of this because you would have freaked out.
Yeah.
So me and Todd knew the entire time, and we knew we could get by and still deal with it after the fact.
Well, what I knew, here's the saving grace of that, that I knew everything at Photokina was a small segment, and I knew I was speeding up everything. So I actually looked at the footage, and I was like, oh, I'd probably do that anyhow.
So basically, it was very quick time-lapse clips, these 3-4 minute takes he would
I did it on purpose. I was saving memory. Because I made a creative decision as a director to do that.
I know total bullshit. I know the one tent we stopped by, the GoPro booth. You really wanted to use that segment, and then I look at the clips after, and it's like, bloop, bloop, bloop,
oh yeah,
every take,
like 2 frames.
It was like 2 frames and done.
Right.
Good job,
but
Todd.
you did still used a lot of it in the show, and it worked out.
I did. I used a lot of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, 95% of the clips that you see are probably shot by Steven.
Lies.
Oh, but we also shot, the biggest thing for us, I think, was audio, because I was trying to do audio at the same time, direct plugged in the XC10. We didn't have a boom operator or anything like that. Luckily, it was just you with audio. We didn't have 2 people we were dealing with.
Yeah.
There was one day where we were thinking about bringing a second person on, but we didn't, thank God, because I don't know how we would have done audio.
That was the saving grace. Like if we would have definitely needed a separate audio person.
Now, we still had, say, for the fan interviews, we got away with that because I used a Zoom H6, and we would literally just plug the Sennheiser Lav G3 onto the fans that came by, and, next, plug it in, plug it in, and I would ride the levels with the Zoom, sync it up in post.
Yep.
The 5D was a saving grace for that, too, because I put the dual pixel autofocus on at 1.2, f1.2.
People just stepped in.
People would step in, bob, and it would just track the entire time, crisp. It was perfect.
Awesome.
I loved it.
And story-wise, with those interviews, that was something that kind of came up over the course of the day.
That day,
when we got close to it, I was like, oh, I'm going to pull a Harry Met Sally. And for those that haven't watched Harry Met Sally, in between like segments, they've got old people talking about how much they love each other. So I was like, let me have fans talk about Jared and his influence on them and how much they hate him and how much they think he's a hack, and put that in between segments, and that's it worked out for the best. And again, again, we had a rough idea of what we were doing, but this was really shot as almost documentary style.
Yeah. It was as we went, we were figuring it out.
I'm happy with this. I'm happy with how it turned out.
Came out really good.
And we almost got stopped by the cops that day too. They did kick us out.
They
got
gave us
about
a time
10
frame,
fan interviews done, and then we
I
were going
was
to do
not
more.
there.
Yeah, you weren't there. We shot it in like 20 minutes maybe. It was very quick. Set it up before the group interview. We actually used someone else's footage for the group meeting at the way in.
Thank God.
Luckily,
for that.
we had a buddy there.
What was he shooting?
Like
a
a
1DX Mark II.
Yeah, brand new.
Yep.
And he was shooting with like a 35-1.4.
Looked great. That was a saving grace. I used a lot of that footage.
He was at like 1600 ISO because it was pitch black. We were at like 20,000.
I was at 105 million.
What
2 billion.
What else is on the list? Or
I would say some tricks that we did in terms of shooting the show, like a couple of things. We didn't have a dolly or any slider or anything, any moving shots.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the cool shots that we figured out the way in was when we were leaving at the airport, like that airport catwalk, moving track.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called.
People Mover?
Yeah, me and Todd were on our way to finally hit up McDonald's after a week long.
The most important part of
my God, it was
That
best part of the trip.
That was before Gluten Charlie showed
Best
up.
part of the trip.
Charlie
I
Gluten.
love some McDonald's right now.
But so we went to McDonald's, and as we're getting off this catwalk thing, I'm like, oh my God, this is a perfect slider shot, because we're going by and we see these airplanes, and everyone's...
I gotta hurry up.
This
is gonna be awesome.
I was watching this when I was watching the show on the sofa.
Yeah.
That scene came up, and I was like,
How did they shoot that?
no, I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because we see everyone, and everyone's completely silhouetted, because the window was just, that dynamic range was crazy. So I silhouetted them, and I got a couple more shots too. Used the one clip of just the planes mainly.
Yeah.
But it worked out. It was right when we were about to get off. I'm like, wait, quick. I don't think it was that steady. You had to fix it a little bit in post.
A little bit.
Speaking of steady shots, this guy.
Crushed it.
Oh,
Parkinson's over here.
So go check out the show. Go to FroKnowsPhoto.com/show2, the number 2, and you can check out the episode and let us know what you think. We have plans to do more. We're also... we got plans to do more. I'm not going to share what else is in my mind about other stuff.
Yeah.
Another nice trick we had too was when we hung your shirts up in the bathroom, where we made it seem like it was your closet for that intro.
Yep.
That worked out perfectly. That was your idea, actually,
Yeah, it was.
because there's no light in your bedroom upstairs or anything.
Well,
so
I just didn't want you guys up in my bedroom to see what I keep up there.
your 2 shirts
see
in
the
your
bodies.
closet.
What was that, Todd?
The bodies are up there.
Yeah.
No, I think the biggest thing I'll point out, and everybody should always keep this in mind with video, is worry about the story.
Yeah.
Worry about the story you're trying to tell, because we shot with XC10s, which are, great in the day, not great at night. But again, I threw shots in there from those XC10s at night just because they told the best story.
But you also threw
and Jared
iPhone.
didn't care.
You threw iPhone 7Ss in there.
And I'm saying I used the iPhone, some iPhone.
I mean, I
shots
personally
in it.
hate when you do that, but it works out because the story's being told.
Because I don't care. They're all tools to tell the story.
You're
and
right.
And the thing people get so hung up about, and they send us emails about this and that and 4K and this many frames per second. Worry about your story.
In the end, it doesn't matter.
All about the story.
If you have a good story, and Casey Neistat talks about that all the time. He just went around and shot with the 70D and then the 80D.
Yeah.
And shit's not in focus. It doesn't matter sometimes if it fits in the context of the story and people enjoy it and they watch it. A lot of people worry about the XC10s. They're like, these are shit. It's like, honestly, for what The trade-off
we do.
is the trade-off. You could have a C300 Mark II that is 20 pounds with a rig, and it's going to kill Steven's shoulder running around. It's going to slow down my ability to shoot because Steven has to change lenses and do all this other stuff.
Rack focus, everything.
In this case, XC10s. Now, we wish they had the dual pixel AF. Do they have dual pixel AF?
No, they don't.
They
I wish
need
they
dual pixel AF in that, but we used the 5D Mark IV, which Canon had it. They gave me one to... Then we gave it back, and then we rented one from Allen's for the final shoot here, and we shot it in 4K, but that gives Todd the ability to get multiple angles from one 4K shot.
Yep.
And that 5D4, man, that
I love
awesome.
shooting 4K and then delivering
In 1080.
In 1080.
Looks so sharp.
I love the options I have there, and even with like bigger projects that you want to deliver potentially in 4K at some point, like Greenpeace, we shot in 5K. That's where I think we're going to hit the limit. Like we saw 8K before at
Canon Expo.
At the Canon Expo. I think at some point all you're gonna end up doing then is just shooting like 12K, but cropping to 8K, like because you can't see anything better. So we're getting to the point now you have to not necessarily shoot for the best resolution or the best whatever. Just shoot for the best story. Tell the best story.
And that's what's great about, I mean, all the people complaining about why doesn't it do 4K? Or why don't you deliver in 4K? Because, well, most people can't watch anything in 4K, but that doesn't matter. 4K comes in such handy when you can shoot at 4K and deliver at 1080.
Yeah.
It's sharper. It gives you multiple angle
we
choices.
needed one camera. We shot out your interviews and we walked.
I mean, I would say a majority of the stuff we brought in almost one think tank bag at Airport Security. It was great.
No, Airport International, because we couldn't take
you're
the
right,
security.
even smaller.
Yeah.
And then back to that XC10 conversation, it's kind of like the Mavic versus, say, like the Inspire. Like it's convenience over quality. It's good enough where you're still telling the right
Especially
story.
when we're traveling across the ocean.
Exactly.
With all that stuff.
Yep.
Now, it would have been nice if we would have had the Mavic.
Oh, of course.
I think
Speaking
I would
of
have
that.
liked to steal some shots and potentially get arrested for that. But unfortunately, we didn't have it at that point.
Yeah, because it wasn't out
All
at
right.
the time. Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yep.
But we have ideas for more different style shows, similar style. I would like, if you work for a company that wants to pay us to come do shows that are similar to what we've done in your city, and you want to do a visit somebody's city, we'll do that. Like Visit Topeka. We'll come make a video.
Hey, if you got anything cool in your town, that just cool things that happen that we can make Jared miserable and have him do dumb stuff.
Speaking of miserable, thank you guys very much for tweeting at Matthews Grip.
Speaking of miserable,
That's
Great
a transition.
segue.
Great
Transition.
That's a segue.
Yeah.
Crush that.
You guys tweeted at the Matthews people, and we have 2 Matthews stands on the way right now. They're actually out for delivery on the FedEx truck right this second. They
now.
haven't gotten here. 49 pounds. There's 2 stands, and they sent us the stands. I mean, we'll do a Gear of the Week next week or whenever.
Yeah.
But the ones with the wheels on it, so we can roll them.
Nice.
And they said one of the keys to those wheels that they make that nobody else has is that when you roll it, the wheelbase does not spin like this.
it's not like constantly
It's not
spinning.
constantly
Yeah,
spinning. It
yeah.
stays straight.
That's perfect.
Nice.
You want to get the photo news?
Mike
Oh,
Pencil
yeah.
like that.
All right, let's do photo news. It's brought to you by the dog Scooter downstairs barking.
And every week when we take a week off, I usually have to go back a little bit farther for photo news, so it's even more outdated this time.
Perfect.
You're welcome.
Speaking of being outdated and where we get our photo news, did anybody hear my
Did
intro?
everybody see Jared's scarf? Speaking of outdated. Oh, sorry. That's not where you were going with that?
I did the intro. Sharky James asked me
For
to
the
do the
Petapixel
intro for the
podcast,
Petapixel podcast, so we came up with the best intro ever.
It was the best.
Dan, can you play it right now? All right, here we go in 3, 2, 1. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and you're listening to Sharky James and the Petapixel podcast, the place where we get all of our photo news. Oh, wait. What's that, Steven? I'm not supposed to tell them that? Oh, I already did. Anyway, enjoy the show. That was the intro.
It was so funny. Oh, my God.
Scooter liked it because Scooter's barking. Let's do photo news, please.
We've got a new photo service entitled Relonch.
Spell that for me.
Relonch.
That's Relonch.
Relonch.
Relinch.
Relonch.
Arlaunch.
Relonch.
Arlonunch.
I want to say Relonch.
Relaunch.
I'm going to say Relonch. They're aiming to bring photographers the perfect photo for the very low price of just $99 a month.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. It's
Does that
super
mean they
cheap.
send Todd there to take it?
Basically.
Here's how the subscription service works. Relonch loans you a camera for, again, $99 a month, a leather-wrapped Samsung NX camera in bright, vibrant colors.
Hipster.
Where we mentioned that
purple.
Samsung does not make cameras any longer in the SLR range.
I'm sure they got these incredibly cheap for a very affordable price. A whole bulk of them. So it'll come with a 30mm f2 lens fixed with only 2 buttons exposed. Again, it's leather-wrapped. Shutter and power will be the only buttons exposed that you can use, and it'll probably be in full auto mode, I assume.
So it's covering the LCD, guys.
Yep. You can't even see the LCD at all.
I will take a knife to that leather to see what... we should order one.
Now, once you take photos, they're sent via a 4G signal to their servers where they will do all the dirty work for you, they say, picking out what they think could be your best images and editing them for you with no hassle.
I'm thinking, what if you took some dick pics and sent it to them? Which one's the best one, guys?
Oh, my God. The images are then sent back to your smartphone, but this is the caveat, not till the next morning.
Yeah, but wait. So you need to be connected...
I need them right now.
I think the camera is always
need to
connected
send them
via
right now.
4G
Yeah, but how's
to your phone, I assume.
Yeah, to your phone.
I don't really know. They
through
didn't
a
give the
wireless.
details. Yeah.
But so it's probably not sending a RAW file.
I assume JPEG because it's 4G signal.
All right, keep going. I gotta
format
yell
ever.
at this.
Now, you also will get a monthly printed photo book of your favorite images, which is included in that $99 a month price, and it's clearly aimed toward like the casual photographer, but for $1,200 a year.
$1,200
That's
a year.
a lot to ask for like an amateur.
One button.
Pro
No
is
way.
not going to get
There's
that.
no
and
way.
they're the ones with that
There's
money.
no way.
Yeah. So,
Scooter doesn't like it.
yeah, that
Scooter,
dog is
what do you
barking.
think of that? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Scooter.
But do you think this will do anything? You think it'll take off? You know?
This is what it's... Anyway, do I think it will take off?
Yeah.
No. I think this is the biggest piece of garbage shit in the history of garbage shit, almost.
Tell me how you really think.
-1. Are you kidding me? $1,200 a year to rent a camera that you can't see the LCD, you can't shoot RAW most likely, you press the power button and you take pictures. Are people that... Hold on. Oh, look, it's my phone.
Oh my God.
I pay less than $1,200 for this once every 2 years.
Oh.
Well, actually every year because I buy a new one. But you could take
Money's no
pictures
object.
and you can see what it looks like. I mean, and the other thing is the pictures their processing was vignette heavy, all of that other stuff.
See, I couldn't tell if they're going to have actual editors on hand
They
or if it's
edit
going to be
them
like
in
an AI automatic. I think it was called like their perfect
All right, so
filter
is
or
this
something.
for sale right now?
I believe you can sign up. I think you can test it out now or something, or like sign up for a pre-beta, or I'm not really definitely sure. But I know they have a storefront open in Palo Alto, California, where you can go Monday through Friday and actually
Great.
test out a camera and see if it's right for you.
In all honesty, I do not see who in their right mind.
I don't know who their market's for. you know?
Why would you need to get a camera that you can't see anything or change lenses or do anything with? I have a phone for that. Why is anybody going to let somebody else pick the photos that they think are the best photos when that's your job as the photographer? Are you that lazy? Are you that lazy? If you are that lazy, then go buy a Relonch.
If you're that lazy, you're already just taking pictures with your phone.
Exactly.
That's where the casual photography audience is.
I think Charlie Gluten may own one of these.
Yeah, man.
and
I traded in my iPhone for some crimpets. You know what I'm saying?
And it says at the bottom of their website when you check it out, it says like, we also think smartphones are fine, so you can still use your smartphone. And the other thing is their tagline was something like, you buy this expensive DSLR and it just sits on the shelf. It's like, but they can
That's
just
because
put it
you
in
didn't
auto
buy the
mode.
video guide.
It's the same thing that they're offering, a big DSLR mirrorless camera, and it's in auto mode.
So what do you
stupid.
guys think of Relonch? Can we get a proper pronunciation of Relonch?
Yeah.
I watched their video and it's just like,
Here's how you pronounce it.
all right, let's move on because I can't. I can't. I can't.
Can you?
I just can't.
We've got a groom named Barry Billcliffe. He's being sued by a pair of his now former friends.
Wait a second. His name's Barry Bill Cliff.
Yep.
Where his dad,
3 first
and his
names.
uncle and his father named Barry, Bill, and Cliff.
I hope so.
But he's being sued by a pair of his now former friends who attended his wedding and were hit in the face by a falling drone at his reception in an enclosed tent. One friend claimed that their nose broke. Another says they needed more than 20 stitches in their head while both suffering concussions. They claim this. The event took place at Sorrells Castle in Windham, New Hampshire. The venue's VP, Scott C. Robb II, claims he told the groom not to fly his drone earlier that day when he saw him take it out of the trunk. Yet it found itself mid-air during the reception, which is terrible.
Why would a groom? Oh, during the reception.
During the reception.
I was like, what is he? I
I need you to get the electric slide. Shut up!
Bring me the ring. I'm gonna bring you the ring, dear. Wait, I'm gonna get her veil open with the
my
drone.
God.
Let me raise the veil.
Oh God! Now
Kill two birds with one stone.
he claims he wasn't piloting it,
I get it, Todd. A nose and a bird.
and that he was in the middle of the dance floor at that time. Although the DJ says otherwise, noting that he saw him with the controls at that time.
Yeah, man. I saw a drone.
And the thing is,
it was a drone.
phone call.
Yeah, what's up, man? This is the DJ calling in. Hot shit, hot shit, hot shit. I did not see any type of drone going on from my DJ equipment. Just want to let you know. New shit, new shit, new shit. Mind you.
But this tent, though, it was not that big of a tent. It was maybe 15 feet high, and the drones, you can see a video over on the website. It's not the actual video of the incident taking place, but the drone is flying, and it's maybe 3 feet above people's heads by.
That's just stupid.
It's
That's
and there's
dumb.
chandeliers right
That's
above
really
it. It's
dumb.
terrible.
Yeah, that's a dumb idea.
So check out the website for that.
My neighbor just texted, not that one, not the one with Scooter the dog, but my other one, Marlene. You met her yesterday.
Oh.
She's okay. She has no problem. But no, we're not okay.
She's asking if
She asked if
everybody's
you're
okay.
okay.
She thinks there's a home invasion going on over
We're,
here right now.
we're okay.
Why does he have a DJ? What party is he hosting right now?
And why wouldn't he invite me?
I'll text her. I'll
Asshole.
invite her up if she wants to sit in. So
He's an
the moral of the story is: do not fly your drones where other people are and they could get
No.
hurt. You do not have insurance, most likely. You do not have liability if something does happen. You're
getting
gonna
sued like
be
this.
in trouble, and
Yeah.
you're gonna get sued by your friends.
Yep.
who are
And
no
they're
longer
also
friends.
trying to sue the venue, but the venue's fighting back, saying it was clearly just the
I
groom.
guarantee they had some sort of
Yeah.
some clause in the
Yep.
agreement.
Yep, something. Then we've got photographer Kurt Moser. He turned an old Russian military truck called the Ural 375 into a giant camera for glass plate photos. And he funded the truck via his successful Kickstarter that raised over $70,000.
How many rupees is that?
Now, the truck uses a rare APO Nikkor 1780mm lens. That's huge. Only 10 in existence as well. It's very rare to capture images nearly 5 feet in size on massive glass plates that each weigh almost 90 pounds. This thing, they
So
have
as
a
much
video.
as Dan?
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a video clip of the lens, and it's bigger than his head. It's ginormous.
Nice.
It's Gigunda.
Jagunda.
Gigunda.
Oh, yeah.
Now, basically, the whole back of the truck has been revamped into a giant camera where it comes detached, similar to that of like an 18-wheeler and its trailer. There's new hydraulic support that lets it stand alone and act as tripod legs. The giant lens is mounted on the back of the trailer. It's paired with daylight projectors for more light when they take photos, and the glass photo plate inside lives on a dolly track that moves back and forth.
So it's similar to Ian Reuter.
Yep, very similar. It then can be fully developed right inside the truck with all the chemicals needed. It's a one-stop shop.
Then you
And-
can drive to the photo barn and drop your film off.
Perfect. He might run over the photo barn with that
Tell
truck.
my mom
but-
hi.
I'm here. Did your mom really work at the
She
photo barn?
literally worked at the photo barn.
Can we get
great.
some photos of her at the photo barn, please?
I would have to ask. I will actually text her
She's
now.
got to
before I
dig them up,
forget.
I'm sure, though.
But I remember we used to pick her up at the photo barn.
And the photo barn literally was just a
Shed.
little.
It was like a shed, like in the middle of the parking
Yeah.
lot at the grocery store.
If you ever watched Parenthood, remember Parenthood with Steve Martin,
yeah.
and the daughter drops off the film at that place, and then the mother and that's Keanu Reeves, by the way.
Is it?
The mother gets the wrong.
Neo.
The people at the barn gave the wrong prints to the mother, and they saw all these sexually explicit photos.
Now, over on the website, you can see a walkthrough of the entire truck along with the giant lens. Big video of that.
FroKnowsPhoto.com/RAWtalk-208.
And then Time Magazine's latest cover photo features President-elect Donald Trump as Person of the Year. Now, the issue comes with the placement of the photo. His head is positioned directly under the M in Time, which appears to form devil horns.
Oh.
That's what the internet's saying. On his head. The red lettering doesn't help either.
Yeah.
They also failed to touch up his hair. There's like a bald spot. He's got a harsh monster-like shadow. He's got a very straight look on him. He just looks a little scary. Now, on the flip side, People magazine featured a smiling Trump on their cover with the O and P people, creating almost like an angelic-like halo behind his head. Now, Time has simply responded saying, given the shape of the letter M in the magazine's name and its location on the cover, many other subjects in the past have also appeared to sprout extra features. Any resemblance to cats, bats, or devil horns is entirely coincidental. So coincidence or clever Photoshop job for this one?
I don't want to talk about this guy, so...
Next story.
Yeah, I mean, no offense to you, but I don't even... It serves no purpose anymore for us to go down that path.
There you go. Now, speaking of cover photos, this month's Sports Illustrated cover photo featuring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who's got way bigger guns than you.
Way bigger.
I mean,
way
it
bigger.
certainly doesn't hurt that you may be on some hormones of growth.
Some steroids, yeah.
Because if you saw pictures, and I love The Rock. I love The Rock.
Do you smell what he's cooking?
I can tell.
But if you look at
seen your
the
bedroom.
early, if you look at the early, as he as an adult in in WWE
WWF.
or F, whatever it was, it's just like looking at Jose Canseco and Mark McGuire before they decided to blow up.
Yep.
It is
a big change.
So I work out, right?
Do you?
I take that protein that's over there,
Yeah.
and I do not take anything else because I refuse to put shit in my body.
I mean, we can tell.
What about gluten?
That cake I had last
Yeah,
night.
they have gluten in that motherfucker. I will snort that off your penis.
I was looking up this guy, Joey Swole. I don't know. I saw it somewhere. This
Joey
guy, Joey Swole. Joey Swole's got 1.7.
Hey, Joey
Such a
Swole.
bro.
He's got
Yeah,
1.7 million
I'll
subscribers,
lift your girl right off you.
and he is not natural by any stretch of the imagination. My problem with the fitness industry is that you get these people that are clearly on steroids because they've been doing it for a decade, and they're teaching fitness to up-and-coming kids who see this stuff and try to figure out, well, how can I get that large when it's not humanly, physically possible to get those gains? And then they try to chase those gains, and this is not the photography side of it, but they try to chase those gains, and you just can't. Now, speaking of gains, Dan, pop up this Instagram picture I posted, and somebody left a comment of, what does this have to do with photography? It's a picture of me after a workout on arm day, and they're like, what's this have to do with photography?
I can carry that camera longer than you.
They said stick to photography stuff. I'm like, well, actually, your fit level, it directly affects your ability to do business. If you look like a slob, if you look like a slob, we are judgmental people. What?
I'm judging.
No,
I'm judging Steven right now.
Oh, I didn't hear that. If you look like a slob, if you show up, somebody's going to judge you right off the bat and be less likely to want to give you a job. If you are shooting a wedding and it's 12 hours of work continually and you can't keep up because you're constantly getting tired or you eat like shit, and
if you're dancing in a music video and you get winded immediately,
then
they may question how much they want you in the video.
Then you go back and realize that you better reevaluate your cardio. That was me, and I needed the cardio reevaluation for that.
Have you reevaluated?
What the gym opens down the street? 7 a.m. cardio. I will go a couple days a week. Stop at La Colombe.
You were
not
running
a plug.
for a little while. I know you last year.
I think running is the worst thing for your body.
What do you want to do?
Running.
Treadmill? I mean, bikes?
I'm going to do bikes. I'm going to do the bike, and it's going to be intervals.
You should go do solid core with my wife.
I should go do solid core with your wife.
Why don't you just actually get a real bike, to ride to the factory or something?
Oh, I don't want to ride a bike to the factory because of cars. Same reason I wouldn't drive the scooter is I don't want to get hit. No offense, scooter.
I mean, take some side streets. You don't have to go down Frankfurt.
No, you don't, but I don't want to risk it at all. That's all I'm saying. I don't. There's too many people texting and driving. I don't want to risk it.
I know
there's a lot of crackheads. They'll probably steal his bike.
Speaking of crackheads, how's our security system doing over at the factory? We do pick up some interesting characters from time to time, and we have a new one.
Oh God!
You gonna show a picture this time finally?
Yeah, let's just black out our eyes.
Well, they already were from what I saw.
This was caught on the surveillance camera at noon on a Monday.
Oh my God!
She's
Those
interesting.
bangs though.
Yeah.
Phone call. Is this her?
Yes, hello, assholes.
I've heard that voice before.
This is Barbara Kensington.
Barbie.
I'm on neighborhood watch. That used to be my job. I was the neighborhood crotch for a while, but now I've been planting in your garden hypodermic needles for Dan to harvest when he comes by. So Dan, I put a new crop out there for you of heroin hypodermic needles for you to pick up. You drop them off at University of Penn for them. And, just let me know when you're by, Jared. I'll be sure to scrub the floors on my knees anytime you want for 50 cents. Thanks.
And Kensington
Barbie
Barb.
K.
No, Barb K.
Barb K.
All right, let's
assholes.
Kensington.
after my sidestep of the fitness thing, let's keep going.
Anyway, so The Rock, he was on this Sports Illustrated cover, and it was all shot with a smartphone, not a DSLR, not a mirrorless camera.
How much did they get
not a medium
paid to
format.
use this phone?
I don't know.
What phone is it?
7 figures.
It's the Moto
7
Z,
figures.
which I don't even know.
Is that
honestly,
like-
what
is that like a
is.
Razor?
It's an Android. It's an Android
Yeah,
phone.
I know it.
I
Razor's a
guarantee
little outdated.
everybody's getting a piece of that. Sports Illustrated is probably getting advertising. The camera guy got a piece, and The Rock got a piece.
I bet you they guaranteed to buy X amount of back covers, back ads or 2-page spreads in the magazine in order to do that. I have no problem with them doing that for business purposes. You do whatever you need to do to get your product out there.
Yep.
The photos.
And by the way, this segment is brought to you by
wait,
Chucky
iPhone
the
7.
dog. What's his name?
The iPad.
Scooter the dog and Matthew's light stands.
Exactly. Thank you.
Now, this phone, though, the Moto Z, had a Hasselblad True Zoom Moto Mod attachment, so like a lens attachment on it. And it was photographed by Michael J. Lebrecht II. And he tells Petapixel
The second, not the first.
The second,
The
correct.
second,
Yep.
all right.
Get that right.
Okay.
He tells Petapixel that he familiarized himself with the camera controls on the phone right away. He adds that he first shot with available light and then used continuous lighting.
Yeah, well-
and found the images to be very good.
Yeah, well, so the set, this is the thing. In a controlled environment, as F-Stopper showed us with the iPhone 3 or something, their first video that went hugely viral, is that if you have the right lighting, you can do pretty much anything. And if you look at the set they're shooting on, it doesn't involve depth of field. They don't have to worry about the background going out of focus or
right.
bogeys. They set it up the way that they want it. They built a set, they lit it, they put him on it, they took the picture, and it's perfectly fine.
And it's Android, so it was probably shot raw, and they can still take full control after the fact.
Yeah.
And it's not going to have that.
And they
great of-
use that Zeiss attachment thing.
Hasselblad. Yeah.
That Hasselblad attachment thing that
If
I've
you
never
got the right lighting, you can shoot with anything.
Yep. Even XC10s at Todd's 20,000 ISO.
Hashtag crushed it.
Hashtag callback.
Now, he says the only issue he did have with the phone during this whole photo shoot was due to where the lens is on the phone. He had to mount the phone holder backwards, partially like covering the entire LCD screen, so he couldn't even really see what he was
Did
taking.
he rent it for $99?
And you could see a full behind-the-scenes video of the whole shoot over on the
Hashtag
website.
callback.
And I'll put a link to all the behind-the-scenes photos, which he actually shot with a Canon 5DS, which is his normal camera of choice. And they look great. But
Let me ask you, how
really
long is
can't-
the video that they put up?
about a minute 15.
Yeah, can you people
Great behind-the-scenes
can
video.
you people take
Whoa,
a
whoa,
note
whoa,
from
what do you mean, you people?
Can you people take a note from this YouTube channel that's out there called FroKnowsPhoto that if you're going to do a shoot, then film the whole goddamn shoot and stop putting out these minute 30 behind the scenes looks that don't show shit.
They don't want you to see the mistakes. They were perfect. The shoot went off without a hitch.
I will say though, he said the photographer that I think he only took 18 photos altogether. So there
The
weren't
Rock
that
is
many
busy
photos.
making
I think,
Jumanji.
But did he shoot in 3 shots or less? No?
That's a call forward, Todd.
No, so
That's
he's
a
not that
call
good.
forward.
Okay.
He should just
If he didn't
delete them
do
all.
that, it's not worth it.
No, just delete
Hashtag.
them. Throw out the whole shoot.
Hashtag 3 shots or
Terrible.
less.
Then we got phase 1. They
Trademark.
unveiled their latest version of Capture One Pro with version 10. Key improvements include the integration of a video grading workflow. Something
Really?
Todd will probably
You
never
can do
touch.
video grading?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
A brand new sharpening engine they have, a new default workspace, and there's more like under the hood tuning. The new sharpening process is now broken down into 3 steps. There's a lens correction tool similar to Lightroom that corrects for diffraction, a new halo suppression slider, and a new blending algorithm, they call it. And finally, there's a tool that lets you control output sharpening. And phase 1 is also integrating support for a tangent panel system, which is what Richie just got his hands on.
Right.
Jared always goes off on tangents as well.
I'm perfect user of a tangent.
It looks like a giant soundboard for the most part, except it has
wiki.
It has 3-4 wheels in the middle for like color sliders, stuff like that.
I remember-
So that'll be really nice for the color wheel, 3-way
Callback,
color corrector,
hashtag
all of
callback.
that.
I remember when I was working for Carl Wolf Studio, or was it their
my dad.
competitor?
That was my dad.
It was their competitor. Devore. They were called Devore, but at night I would shoot for Carl Wolf. They were competitors. So they had me trying out. They had the Okay, let me compose myself. They did the photos for the yearbooks, right?
Yeah.
And so they would have these negatives that were all 2 1/4, and you would put it in the machine. And so there were lackeys like me, monkeys in the back room that would punch in the numbers of the corrections. So it would put literally filters over the negatives to then do the correction. Magenta, yellow, cyan, all of that. So what they had is somebody in the back, and they had these 3 wheels for yellow, magenta, and cyan, I believe. And you would just sit there and go back and forth until it looked white, daylight on the screen properly, and you were in a dark room with just this white light. And I just remember these. It was pretty easy because all you had to do was look at it and just move the sliders until it was right.
Yeah.
And this was probably some huge ass expensive machine back in the day that
yeah.
did
Sure.
that.
Oh, yeah.
And then what you would do is you would take the slide out and then you would put it into this printer and it would print across the corrections. Because if they got it right, then that means they didn't have to reprint it, which means they didn't waste paper. Well, side note.
Huh.
Callback.
Hashtag.
Steven.
But the tangent system looks pretty cool. If you were to swap that out, it's kind of like the palette thing that you have where it's a physical controller. It's going to replace your mouse.
And I believe that Palette just updated so that they are officially in sync with this software as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's nice.
I read that on the internets.
So the updated
Probably
version,
stole it from Petapixel.
The updated version of Capture One Pro version 10 is available now for $299, or you can get it as an upgrade from 8 or 9 for $99.
Boom.
Yep.
Or for $99, you could sign up for the Relonch.
The Relonch.
Hashtag callback.
And then
Or,
switching-
as we call it,
And then we've got Lightroom, the other editor, has also gotten an update with CC version 2015.8, still not 2016 for some odd reason. Now, besides your usual performance improvements and updated camera and lens support, one big new feature is the introduction of what they're calling a reference view. Now, reference view simply lets you compare 2 different photos side by side in the develop module, not the library or loop module.
The what?
The library or
Thank
loop.
you. Crowns.
In order to make sure the colors, exposure, and everything else is consistent. This helps out especially if the photos will all be used in like the same photo story or a gallery.
I always
or
look for that.
Something. Yep.
Side by side thing.
And Adobe says this is helpful when making a group of images from a single event look similar or setting the white balance appropriately in mixed lighting conditions. And here's how it works.
What about mixed people conditions?
I don't know.
that's not the America we live in.
So here's how it works. You simply click on Reference View in the toolbar and drag any photo into the left pane as you adjust and scroll through your images on the right. So that will stay static as the one you're editing on the right will basically change as you keep scrolling. And the main difference between, say, this and like the compare mode that you always use is the fact that it will stay activated in the develop module.
Oh, so you can edit while you're
and
doing
let you
it.
exactly. The other one's just the library module, so you can't edit or do any tweaks. You can only compare.
Nice.
This one's the same thing, but in the develop module.
Very cool.
Yeah. And
Have
then
you-
I think
ha-
Lightroom.
Go ahead.
What was that? I think Lightroom for mobile has been updated
It
too.
has.
I haven't used it yet personally, but
Yeah,
I
so
know you've been using
Lightroom
it.
Mobile now has the ability to let you shoot. Well, it lets you shoot RAW, but now you have manual controls. You also have editing that is very similar to if you were in Lightroom. I don't edit in Snapseed any longer. I just bring all of the RAW files, or any file for that matter, into Lightroom to edit Lightroom Mobile because I have the sliders right there.
Do you shoot with Lightroom Mobile, or you still use Camera?
To be honest, I haven't shot a photo.
ProCam.
I haven't shot a photo that I really
like Germany?
No, I've shot photos on my phone, but I just go into the app to take a quick picture for certain things. Like if I'm just sharing it, if it's I'm going and creating something, I'll probably try out the Lightroom mobile app for that.
yeah, I haven't used Lightroom Mobile since like the first version came out, and I hated that.
It is
version.
so powerful what you can do with Lightroom mobile right now.
Do you still use the
And it's
smart
free.
collections and everything, like syncing with
No,
your
I don't
computer?
even know how to
and-
do any of that shit.
Yeah, I'm confused with that.
I
stuff,
really
too.
don't, and it's so.
That sounded terrible.
Was that Scooter the dog? What was that? A car almost running into
It
something?
sounded like a car.
God, well, you did, so the worst is when you hear the, and then you hear the.
Well, speaking of Adobe stuff, have you updated to the most recent Premiere?
I think so.
And did you
how
notice
recent?
that the audio plugins don't automatically like sync now? Like the Apple audio plugins don't automatically load. Like I had to go and figure that out. You have to
See, I
go
don't
into
use
the
any audio
manager.
plugins though. I just use all
Just
the
the standard Mac audio things that are normally would show up in Premiere don't show up, and you have to go into like the audio manager and actually tell it to pull them in.
Is that good or bad?
Well, I had an audio effect on a track,
when you
updated to the
updated it,
newest
wiped it?
thing, and I was like, and it said plugins missing. I was like, I don't have any plugins.
Yeah.
But it was just your standard Apple audio features. So
Maybe
you actually have to go in
maybe I
and do
didn't
that.
upgrade yet. I just use the same. What I love about Premiere is that it uses almost all the same audio effects that Audition uses. So
Yep.
I use just the multi-band compressor and have it synced for certain people like Jared or
Well,
you.
and I normally try not to add in too many plugins if I know I might
too.
have to deliver it to somebody.
Yep. So
But,
it should be stock, and they should open it
But
up. And
apparently, I was
everything's there.
using like an Apple audio plugin that would just naturally show up, and they don't naturally show up anymore. So you have to go in and say sync it in, which they wouldn't transfer if I sent it to somebody on a PC. Oh, a little bit of editing nerd news there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Steven.
And then we're almost done news. We've got 2 more stories left. Von Wong, he's at it again. He's doing another epic photo shoot. Epic. This
Yeah.
time, raising awareness about plastic pollution.
Speaking of plastic bottles, Dan, have you been recycling them when everybody finishes using them? No.
Dan got yelled at for recycling today.
Can we tell that story real quick about how Jared had apparently a recycling cabinet?
There is a recycling
It used
cabinet.
to be.
So Jared has 2 cabinets under a sink. One of them is for regular trash. The other one used to be for recycling. Somewhere you must have not, I guess, taken out that trash can in there. I don't know.
Actually, you know what? I probably ran out of those bags, those
You would just use,
paper
like,
bags.
shopping bags,
Yeah,
right?
but I don't go and shop. They don't have those bags anymore at the shopping
So
centers.
he used that for the recycling bottles, just for recycling, and you stopped doing that a while ago, so you never opened that cabinet. We've still been all putting them in there. So one day he opens it up, and it's just like a waterfall.
It was a
Pissed
wall
me
of
off.
plastic.
Of plastic
It was
bottles.
incredible. It was
and he got
amazing.
so bad. And then the next day we cleaned it out, and there was one plastic bottle
Somebody
that
put
someone
something
put in
in
there.
there.
Dan. Definitely Dan.
I say it's Dan.
It had to be Dan.
Well, when
Anyway.
I pulled it out, it stuttered, so I knew it was Dan.
So Von Wong's latest shoot was tough to pull off. He said how to make something like plastic pollution that's ordinary, ugly, and boring look extravagant, unique, and different. So he took 10,000 recycled plastic bottles and created a sea of plastic with a model that was done up as a mermaid. And dozens of volunteers helped him clean and delabel the bottles. I actually counted all the people in this picture that he took, the behind-the-scenes picture. There was like 30 or 35 people in that picture
What?
that helped out. Yeah. It took him like a whole day or two just to delabel and clean all these plastic
well,
bottles.
yeah.
And a friend let him
I
use...
hope that they didn't get one from Charlie Gluten's house
A friend also let him use his giant warehouse.
or Barb K.
Barbara
Barbara K.
Kensington.
They might get poked. So the giant warehouse they used to house the whole entire project. He then mounted his Sony camera in the air, remotely connecting it via an iPad, and then he used a huge TV that he got at like Costco as the monitor. He would trigger it from below and reposition the model for the look he wanted. And to help fight this cause, he's asking people to visit mermaidshateplastic.com and sign his change.org petition to reuse bottles. And you can see the full behind-the-scenes video series, which I think he has like 3 videos altogether. It was like part 1, 2, and 3. It's over on the website along with some of the photos. I'll
Speaking of
link to that.
mermaids, Splash was filmed here with Cher?
Splash. Was that 84 or something?
It was
Wow.
down in
86?
the city.
Was
A
it?
while ago.
Yeah.
Splash?
Yeah.
I thought that was New
Or was
York.
it Mermaid?
I thought Splash was New
I mean,
York.
Splash is what the movie was called. I didn't think it was filmed here.
I think it was filmed here.
Mannequin was filmed here.
Oh, Mannequin.
Mannequin was filmed
that,
here.
That maybe that was
Yeah.
it. Mannequin.
Yeah.
Mannequin was so good. Who was the mannequin? Cher?
No.
Or some hot girl?
I've never seen Mannequin.
Yeah, some blonde.
Oh, Samantha from Sex and the City, Dan
Oh.
says.
Yep.
Dan knows like every movie.
Too bad he doesn't have a microphone. Keep talking, asshole.
All right, let's go. Let's finish up this news.
Then last story, we've got Canon. They filed a new patent for a new lens system that features mounts on both ends of the lens, allowing for macro photography. The recently published patent suggests that the new lens
It's called a
system
pig roast.
would still give you full control of all your settings, whether you mount your lens forwards or backwards. Mounting it backwards would enable the look of a macro lens,
Yeah.
similar to the reverse lensing technique.
I remember at weddings, people used to take their lenses off and shoot through them backwards to get ring shots.
Oh, but you need an adapter for it, right?
No, they would literally hold it up to the opening.
Oh my god.
How would light not leak through? Or
it
did, I
art,
guess.
Steven. It's just like the Relonch, all right?
It's art, Steven. You wouldn't understand, all
It's
right?
art.
So the difference between this and the lensing technique with the adapter is now you have full control of your settings. There's no more manual aperture that you have
pretty
to play
cool.
with. Yeah, which is
And
pretty
worthless
nice.
at the same time.
Now,
Actually,
again,
it's pretty cool.
That's if this ever makes it, to the market. If this ever gets made, who knows?
Okay, sounds good.
And that's it for photo news this week.
All right, Photo News has been brought to you by
Screw you, Todd.
Scooter the dog
And Matthew Stans.
and Matthew Stans. time for Gears of the Week, right?
Gears of the Week, yeah.
All right,
Gears.
Gear of the Week comes to you by the way of China. DJI.
Gina.
Did you?
DJI got, they sent us the Inspire 2. Nice. Richie and I took it out to
Dos
fly. Oh boy, do I love flying this thing.
It looked great. The footage that you got was actually pretty smooth, unlike Todd's footage.
Well, I mean, I crushed it.
That's a big boy.
Whew.
You know, the payload. Do you have to take the payload off when you put it in?
Yeah, for travel mode.
Gotcha.
You have to take the payload off. But this is the pay. So that's $3,000 for that bad boy, and it's $3,000 for this bad boy.
Ooh, that's basically like a flying GH4.
It is.
Micro Four Thirds.
I mean, flying this, and I never flew the Inspire 1 except for the one time when we flew it, when we tested
Yep.
it in Brooklyn
Before the release
for
of
a
it.
couple minutes
Yep.
in 35-mile-per-hour weather. But oh my God, does this thing fly so easily? The Mavic flies easy. The P4P flies easy. This thing flies easy. It's larger. You get over 20 minutes of flight time on dual batteries. It will fly on one battery, by the way. I did
thought
read
you-
that.
Oh.
Oh, so it will
You would think
actually
it would be unbalanced, but I guess
Yeah.
it compensates for it.
Yeah, so it can do that, but being able to control this with a separate remote, the quality that you get out of this is
So these
is
batteries
awesome.
are actually cheaper than the Phantom 4 Pro.
They are. Yes, we saw that in that video that we made.
Yeah, well, I thought we initially said that you need to buy 2 batteries, so it's really not cheaper. But I guess you only have to buy 1 extra.
Yeah, I looked it up on the site. It's like
you're right though. How is it not unbalanced in the air?
I don't know.
Probably just
Dude, these
knows.
rotors. Look at the size
they are
of
huge.
these.
You know, the size of the
props are like this
huge.
big.
They're really big.
Yeah,
Mad props.
I
it's a sexy looking drone too.
So people always they're going to ask, do you get, or how do you decide what drone to get? We made a video about this. The Inspire
Coming soon.
Well, it may already be out,
Or
by
it
the
may
time
be
that
out.
this comes out. But I put the Mavic out on the table. I put the P4P, and I put this one, and did all the specs and talked about who they're for. In my opinion, if you are a working professional and you can afford it, and you want to travel with this bad boy, you're going to take it with you because you want the best of the best of the best, with honor, sir. I think that if you own an Inspire, there is no doubt in my mind that you will buy a Mavic as well. Because I think if you're a professional flyer like this, you want to have the Mavic as a toy to take with you and throw up in the sky when you're just playing around in between takes or something else. You're going to use that, and you're going to have that in your bag as well because it's going to fit perfectly well.
I mean, it's like having your D5 for the pro shoots and then bringing your RX100 Mark IV, say Sony, like for a walk around travel camera. Same kind of thing.
And I think the Mavic is probably good as well if you're the one-man band, if you're trucking a bunch of stuff on your back, going to a remote location.
Going to Germany, we could have threw it in our luggage.
I
Yeah.
would have
Would've
definitely
loved it.
taken the Mavic instead of that bigger thing.
I actually see less use for the P4P unless you obviously aren't going to spend $7,000 getting a setup for that.
Yeah.
But if you put money aside, not put money aside, but if you take money out of the equation and you work and you get paid for this stuff, you're going to want the Inspire because you can change the lenses, get a cinematic look. There's so many. It was just incredible to fly.
And the great thing, too, is that if you can't afford the Inspire 2, but you still want to upgrade to the Inspire 1 Pro, that's now down to like $3,000 all in.
Or you can
With
find
the
them
payload.
used for much less.
Or used. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
But-
What's Richie going to do? Is he going to sell
I don't
his?
know. I don't know, but he's got so many batteries.
So
for it.
many
All
batteries.
right, let's get to photo.
Not photo news.
Flying Solo.
Yeah.
So we got Flying Solo, where I ask for your questions to come in each and every time. Not every time, only when we don't have an interview. And people submitted them as videos, as well as
Cool.
submitting them as.
You still getting a lot of videos?
Yeah, a good
well
amount of
as
videos.
text, yeah.
There were a lot. There were 100 comments that came in this time, and the first one comes from Steven
boy.
Sanchez. It's a question about his D5200. I'm going to play it right now.
Hi, I'm Steve Sanchez from Lake Mary, Florida. First-time caller, long-time listener. I was wondering, why does my Nikon D5200 only record for 20 minutes and then just shuts down? Why does that happen?
I love Steve Sanchez.
Follow him Instagram because
It's our homie.
he's a character.
Oh,
dude.
he is one of the characters that he draws.
Yeah.
So the question is, why does his D5200 only take shoot for 20 minutes? They've corrected that, I believe, in the 5500s to allow you to do the 2959.
I still
Or
never
do they
understand.
not?
I'm not sure.
Because a
but
lot of the older Nikons only did 20 minutes.
in 24, 30 frames, and then they did 10 minutes in 60
Right.
or 50 frames.
So
I just never understood why
it had
they
to
did
be. It had to be some kind of codec thing. It had to be some kind of storage thing.
Probably their buffer just
Maybe
couldn't
like
handle it.
I was gonna say the data stream, as well as like maybe overheating or something like that.
Thank you, Sanchez, for your question. Brian Kuhn. Hi, Jew, Steven, Senpai, Wolfman, and the guy without a mic.
What did they call Todd?
Senpai Wolfman. I don't know what the hell that means.
I don't
Two
know.
questions. First for Todd. What are the most important things I should be displaying in my reel as a DP? And how long should it be? That's actually 2 questions, Dick.
As a DP, I would definitely show shots that show off a large lighting scheme. I think that's huge. And then people coverage of dialogue. I would think different ways that you cover people talking heads or
point.
narrative. I think that's so. I would say a large shot showing off a nice lighting scheme, something impressive, something different, something unique, as well as people in different ways, maybe covering a conversation or if it's a talking head or
What
something
about movement?
like that.
Any movement shots?
Sure, I mean you could.
Just
I
'cause
mean
they're a
there's
little
so
more
many
difficult.
things that I'm like,
Yeah.
I get it. Again, it's like
I mean, you can go nuts. You can do drone footage at that
to
point,
me
too,
it's
if you really
composition.
get-
It's
yeah.
really composition. Like if I can see that you've got a great eye of lighting a scene, and then I can see your composition when it comes to people, which is mostly what you're going to be shooting anyways. I think that's would help sell me or not sell me.
How long?
2 minutes? 3 minutes?
Really?
I mean, you could have a longer form video, but if you're sending it to somebody to try to get the job, be like, boom, here's boom, 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 boom. I need 10 seconds of each shot. I don't really need that much. I'm going to understand like where your skills lie by 10 seconds here, 10 seconds there.
You lie. Second, for Jared, how important is the balance between being humble yet still conveying confidence in your work? Lastly, how
Tell
do
you
I
when he figures that out.
Lastly, how do I overcome the See, he asked 4 questions and said he had 2
He's
questions.
a filthy liar.
How do you so Jared, how important is the balance between being humble and still look, I think you need to be confident in the work that you do, but then be humble enough to realize that you're not the best in the world. There's always room for improvement.
But don't be overconfident.
Jared.
Yeah.
I'm not overconfident. If I'm not even going to defend myself here. Lastly, how do I overcome the inability to appreciate my own quality work and enjoy a successful shoot? You don't. You're going to be your own worst critic no matter who you are.
Every time.
And
every time.
You just have to move on and go create something else.
Yep.
Serious note.
Every time I sit down after a video shoot, I look at the footage, I'm like, this is going to suck. This is going to be terrible.
Every time.
It's
Every
gonna
time I
be
go
terrible.
to edit a video, I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I'm like,
what
this is
am I gonna
horrible.
do?
This is going to be terrible. And then all of a sudden, you're like, oh, that's really good.
Serious note, every single one of you has helped me grow in some way. I'm saving my pennies for the editing guide. Todd, it looks amazing.
It is.
Bye,
Great.
Jew.
You're welcome.
Mac Dolce has a video question.
Una Dolce?
Hey, Fro, Steve, Todd, and Dan. This is Mark from Brooklyn, New York. The question is actually for Todd. Todd, when you do an EPK, how long should an EPK actually be if you're promoting a business or a person or anything in that nature?
I'm not going to let him ask his other thing because I think he misunderstood the other thing. The other thing went on to say, do you shoot it in RAW or JPEG mode? So unless you're shooting with an actual camera that allows you to shoot RAW, you're most likely not shooting RAW. So your settings for RAW, and I'm actually answering this seriously.
Maybe he meant compressed or uncompressed? I don't know.
No. He said in RAW or JPEG mode. When you're shooting
In video,
video,
yeah.
the RAW or JPEG of your still image settings don't matter to your video, but what does matter is your picture style.
Picture style, yep.
How long should an
If you're
EPK
shooting
be?
compressed, yeah.
It varies, but 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. I mean, I'm telling you, there's not much. People don't have that big of an attention span, so just hit them with everything
do
you've
a
got.
90
Best
minute
of the
show.
best of the best.
I mean, trust me, I've shot 2 EPKs that took me like 1, 2, 3 days, and they'll end up being 5 minutes. And I don't, if they need to tell a lot of different stories, then maybe break them out into this is how they do this, this is how they do that. But if you're doing an overall story about this business, short and sweet, man. Always short and sweet. If they have a lot of stories to tell, make them separate.
Yeah.
Holly Miller-Steffen.
Hey, Fro, Steven and Todd. This is Holly from Oswego, New York, and I want to talk a little bit about sales. What do you
keep
do
the
and
kid
what do you
down.
recommend? I know that there are a couple different approaches.
What?
and
I can't hear you over
right
the kid.
now,
Wait, what was
I
your
charge people
question?
a
I had
fee
no
for the
idea.
shoot, and then they can either download from my site or print through there. And in 2017, I am hoping to still charge a fee, but just have them print through my site. I want to heavily watermark other ones that they can upload through social media. And I know that you're not a big fan of watermarking, but I feel like
Neither's your
I feel
son.
like it's a good way
Neither's
to
your
get
son.
your
He doesn't like it either.
name and information out there, especially on social media. So I'm looking for
I think her son's asking the question, not her.
Wow, hi. Looking for your opinion and advice. I shoot mostly families,
I don't know what
lifestyle
the question
portraits, that
is.
sort of thing. So thanks so much.
Oh, I don't understand. I got lost with the kid.
I think she's wondering how, from what I gathered, sales in terms of like selling the pictures that she takes after the fact, like, you know, selling them online, like people buying through her and things of that nature.
I don't.
And then does she watermark them so people have to?
Well, look,
You
so
know?
online sales. SmugMug does a great job with offering the ability to sell online, and they won't physically do the printing, but they will connect to
four different labs.
different
It's great.
labs that
Yeah.
allow you to say they can buy a digital version, they can do the prints, they can order all different things. They go up, and I think they're automatically watermarked when they go up. Zenfolio was another one. I kind of like SmugMug for this. I have no problem with directing people to go there to buy stuff. I think it's a great idea, especially when it's turnkey. They do the prints, they ship them, they take their fee, and you get a check.
Isn't there a SmugMug plugin for Squarespace as well, or
There
something
is.
like that? Does
Yes.
it work the same
That's
exact
how
way?
I would do it.
I haven't used it, but
I haven't used it either.
Jonathan Walters. Oh, and by the and I find it amazing that you kept going through that question. I mean, you must understand kids and
That's
all.
a real mom right there.
She's just like,
Just completely blocked him out.
I mean, because I get thrown off by Scooter barking, and I'll go redo the damn video.
I can only imagine what your mother went through, Jared.
Oh, man. Squirrel!
You know, I didn't talk until I was 3 years old.
I wish it would have stayed till
They
43.
thought there was a problem with me.
They were right.
And so what my dad always said is we were worried that you weren't talking, and then as soon as you started talking, we wondered when the
We wished
fuck you
it
were
went
going to
back.
shut up. That's what they said.
By the
John-
way, do you need apples?
Jonathan Walters. Hey, Jared, Steven, and Todd. My question is about audio blocks. I took advantage of it when you recommended it, and now about every other video on YouTube, I have to file a claim for copyright claims. While I usually get them released, it takes extra time, which is a pain in the freaking
it
ass.
is.
With your relationship with audio blocks, do they plan on fixing this anytime soon or setting up a way to certain songs are automatically recognized? They should just be recognized.
Yeah.
Because audio blocks, they work closely with YouTube to know that they are a service.
Yeah.
Now, audio blocks... My phone's ringing. What's the chances of it being my dad?
Oh, I hope it is.
I hope it is.
I'm at BJ's, Jared.
Yeah, Dad.
Hi. You taping?
Yes.
Same time every week.
What time is your flight on the 15th?
8:30, maybe 8:50 in the morning.
Yes.
Are you taking baked chicken and nuts?
I'll double check.
I think it's sold out.
I can double check after the show.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
No rush. No rush.
Just take your time.
Take your time, Dad.
Mid-show.
All right.
It's cool.
Back to your show. I'm going to leave here probably around 3 o'clock, so I'll see you soon.
Great.
Three-
Great.
dinner's at
What are you
7.
having for dinner?
I know
What's
that.
he having for dinner?
I'm not coming
Bedia.
down at 5:30 to try to battle through the traffic. I can be comfortable in your place watching you guys make fools of yourselves.
Good.
That's
Good.
more fun.
Good to hear.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
Bye.
Bye, Dad. Every time. Are you recording? Yes. Okay, well, I have a question for you. Keeps going. The best.
It's funny.
It's been a while since he called in.
Yeah.
The real Jared's dad called in.
Yes.
Okay, so back to the audio blocks thing. If you go into your account, you can download a certificate that you upload to YouTube, letting them know that you have the rights to use that music. What you could also do is contact audio blocks and do it on social media, Twitter, do it every way you can, and ask them to submit your name to YouTube as a verified user or something like
Yeah.
that. I think they did that for us a long time
We've
ago.
luckily only had that happen.
Once or twice.
Yeah,
And
a
it's
handful
bullshit
of
why it
times.
happens.
Yeah.
But what happens is because these artists that make these instrumental songs or whatever will license them to audio blocks and another service and
Yeah.
another service, and
Yeah.
then they'll license them themselves on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's
Yeah.
not the point.
Nope. Okay, here we go. We've got another female reader, Amy Jo Weister.
Any kids?
Hi, Fro and team. I know all about the Fro around here. My question today is
got a lot of hair.
I like urban photography as a classification, and I.
Now, when you say urban photography, does that mean
Is
in
that black
town
people?
Center?
Is that
What?
black people she's taking pictures of?
That's urban centers.
Oh.
I mean, because we all.
Is it ex-urban or urban?
The only way you can live in a town center is if you're black.
Right, exactly.
Because I live in.
Which
the
is a
center of
crime
the town.
wave. I mean, it's criminals and crime and
Degenerates.
broken glass everywhere.
And
Apparently,
needles.
that's what
Barb's
Melly
there,
Mel's
too.
for.
Yeah.
Barb's the town crotch.
And I'd like to increase my business, but yet not sell out. I don't like to take wedding photography. I don't like to do babies.
don't like to
I
do
focus
anything.
more on animals.
So she wouldn't like the
and
lady before.
city type things. How do you stick to that?
All right. The answer to how do you stick to what you want to shoot, but you don't want to shoot anything else is you can't. Unless you can actually make it doing the things that you really want to do. If you want to do it as you want to be a photographer and make money at it to shoot the things that you want to shoot.
It's like
you
Rebecca Bathory, right?
Bathroom.
Bathroom.
Yeah,
Rebecca
exactly.
Bathroom.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
If you want to do this, sometimes you have to take the jobs you don't want to do to afford the jobs that you do want to do.
I'm doing that right now.
Brogan McDonough. Hey,
Bro.
Jared and the gang. Brogan from Scotland.
What's up, bro?
I'm struggling to get the following I desire in order to get work. What would be the best way to increase this? Brogmanphotography.com. I'm starting to wonder if my organic growth has peaked so low. I'd love to know your thoughts. Well, one, you're 20 years old, which doesn't mean that
You're just starting out.
you're just starting out, but we know that there's kids that have huge followings.
Of course,
but
yeah.
there's
give
this
up.
there's this idea that you need to have a following in order to be successful at your job as a photographer or something like that. Having a large following does not equal getting more jobs. It just doesn't. And that was one of the reasons I started the website, was to try to get more jobs, and that didn't happen, and I pivoted the other direction to educating because that's what people wanted. But you can't worry that you don't have a following online. You get your freaking jobs. And there's no secret answer to this. I can't tell you how to be successful online. I can't tell you how to #crush edit it. You just have to find a way to get the jobs and do them.
I mean, I'd say 95% of working professional photographers probably have zero following, zero online presence, minus a little website.
Yep. David Luxus. Hey, Fro team, what are your thoughts about the freshly announced Huawei Mate 9?
Huawei.
Could it be a serious competitor of the iPhone 7 Plus? Probably a head-to-head comparison would be interesting if you get your hands on one. Honestly, I don't give a shit.
Is this the Leica dual
I don't
lens
give
one?
a shit about the
Right?
Huawei 9.
The Leica
you
one,
don't see
right?
Huawei getting purchased here in the United States.
Do they have $5 footlongs? Do they have
That's not Wawa or Subway. And it's Hoagie Fest.
Hoagie Fest? Do they have a Hoagie Fest?
No, they don't. So Huawei, I believe, is big overseas.
Yeah.
But I don't see a I don't buy an iPhone because of the camera, except for this one that I bought because we went
Because
to
of the
Germany to
camera.
make a video about it for
So
the
you're
camera.
a liar.
But generally speaking, if I'm buying a camera, I'm buying a damn camera. All right. Ricky Lobo Martin. Sorry, Rick Lobo Martin. He doesn't go by Ricky Martin.
Damn it.
Living La Vida Loca.
How's it going, Fro? My name's Rick. I'm out of San Jose, California. I'm a photographer / videographer. I have a 4-year-old son. He loves the GoPro. I want to get him his own camera. I take him to car shows with me. That's where I do a lot of my photography and video. I'm thinking about either the Canon Rebel SL1 or maybe a cheaper point and shoot. What do you think for, basically he's going to be 5, and just to get him involved and interested in photography?
So, Rick, it's a good question that I think a lot of people are facing today is what is a good camera to get a kid, a 4-year-old? I have that wind-up one that I made from scratch. I wouldn't buy that.
Oh, yeah.
What I would get is one of those shock-proof cameras that weatherproof, life-proof, something that I know Canon may make one. I know Pentax
chew
made
on.
one. I know Olympus made them back in the day. The point is, I wouldn't buy them the SL1. That's not something you buy for a kid. You don't buy them a DSLR right now. You get them something that takes pictures. Don't even worry about zoom. Just hand it to the kid and say, press the button to shoot a picture. Whatever you see, go shoot. And then you sit down with them and it's just going over like, damn, nice job. Even if it's out of focus, it doesn't matter. It's about just getting him interested and enjoying what he's shooting and then subtly giving some input. Not being like, this sucks, kid, but
Did you shoot raw?
Just let the kids shoot pictures.
I mean,
Seriously.
who is it? Hawkeye Huey, that's like 6 or 7 now, and he was shooting since he was like 3 or 4.
Yeah,
with
but
a
if his dad
DSLR.
didn't shoot for... No, he doesn't shoot with a DSLR.
I think he does now, though.
Well, he was shooting a lot with the...
Wasn't it like a Polaroid Instax?
big
or?
Polaroid Instax.
Yeah.
Large.
The wide, yeah.
Yeah, I think at that age, all they can really do is figure out composition.
I think the Instax is nice, though, because they're seeing a physical picture print
but
out and,
expensive.
and understanding the aspect of...
Expensive.
That's pricey.
It is.
Katie Testerman. I work at a car dealership. My GM has put me in charge of our social media accounts. I'm trying to come up with ways to engage customers and get away from the same boring shots of the cars. Any advice? Yeah, my advice is simple.
Boobs.
Oh,
no?
I mean, we can send them Maria's number and she could dance for them.
Okay, and play it now.
Just can't play the song.
Yeah.
You can follow Maria Shapley something on YouTube.
Just search it up.
If you're in charge of a car dealerships have always sucked. Now, I've seen some awesome stuff way back in the day, about a decade ago, from this Dodge Slasher. It's called Slasher Dodge. And he would come out like he was on coke, and he would have a line of cars and crazy people in the background, and they'd bring out the latest Dodge vehicle, and he'd be like,
slash him.
He'd be like, do you think you would pay $19.99.95 for this? He's like, no, slash. What about $1765.43? No, slash it. It could be yours today only for $12.99.99 here at Slasher Dodge.
I hate those guys that just yell at the camera the whole time.
I know.
You
Who
know what
does
I'm saying?
that?
So
Those
that's
guys.
not my recommendation.
Yeah.
Can't even hear him.
That's not my recommendation for you. My recommendation for you is that you're not selling cars. You're selling what cars can do for people.
Sex.
It's what will people do with the car? I mean, you sell the story that we talked about. Sell the sizzle, not the steak. That's what it's all about. You take the car somewhere and you get a family and you're like, look at what's happening in the backseat of the car on Lookout Ridge.
Making a family.
Yeah, exactly. But come up with things like that to get people interested, because you're not, car's a car. People are looking for a car, of course, but sell what the car can do for them. That's what I used to do when it came to selling cameras at Allen's Camera. What will the camera do for you? Not that it's 12 megapixels. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
David Davis. Hey, Jared, Stephen, Todd, and Dan. David from El Paso, Texas here. Oh.
Great question.
Well, the thing is, I put a thing in between it. Quick and simple question. Should I take more photo jobs for less money or hold off and get less photo jobs for more money? I think when you're starting out, or even if you're not just starting out, holding off for what is better to come will never happen. If you have an offer in front of you and you are free to do it, fucking do it.
Yep.
That's what I have to say. It's hard. I screwed this up my whole life when I started as a photographer. I thought I overvalued myself so much and
Still
wouldn't take the $100 job, because I'm like, well, what if something else comes along? You know what? If something else comes along, you deal with it. But it's better to put something in the books to make money with than to have nothing and make zero.
And you're constantly building your portfolio and your contacts.
Yep.
Contacts is more important than anything you could ever think about.
Network.
What Steven just said. Mike Hackett.
Hey, Jared, here's my question. With your drone fleet growing bigger and bigger, are you going to take the Part 107 yourself, or are you going to hire a pilot for you? And that is my question. Thank you.
Man, I love this question.
Great question, Mike.
Great question. Was it about headroom?
No, stop making fun of the guy. Are you trying out for Star
Video
Wars?
guide is on sale, by the way. DSLR video guide. We talk about headroom.
He's trying out for Star Wars because it's just like he's got the headset on.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, bro, Star Wars. We got a bogey on the left.
Red one.
I don't know that I'm going to take the Series 7. Maybe Richie will take it, and then we just bring him out to fly.
Series 7? What?
No, I'm thinking of Boiler Room.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about?
He's talking at the 107. I don't know. I'll read a book. Maybe I'll take it, and just to see if I can take it. Maybe I'll study for it.
Cool.
Why not? Doesn't hurt. Nicholas Ryan Watts. The question's for Todd. When you give a quote to someone for a video job, how do you price it out? Do you give the client a full breakdown or just a full breakdown of the price?
I give very broad bullet points, because if you start saying
specifics,
the lens costs this, the C-stand costs
they
this,
start
then
cutting
they're
shit
like,
out.
oh, well, I don't need a C-stand. I don't need that much light. You just say, this is what it costs to shoot for the day. This is what it costs for post-production. They know they need to shoot it. They know they need to edit it. Keep it as simple as possible. Otherwise you're creating a menu as opposed to an invoice.
Raul Sanchez, investing in event photography, i.e. on-site printing for sports or conventions. What's your opinion? Worth the time and money due to the amount of travel? ? Actually, it's less of it to do with the amount of travel and more to do with how many people are not going to buy your photos. I used to be in this business, and I know a bunch of other people who were in the business where they would go to hockey events and they would have a row of printers and they would have a row of computers and they would set up an internal network from each game. The parents could look at the photos. Nowadays, everybody has a camera and they don't want to buy your pictures. Not trying to discourage you if this is what you want to do. I'm just telling you the realities of the world as that exists today is it's not worth the investment, in my opinion. It's not worth the investment in the time and money to build this out. Then you need the contacts to go get the jobs. Then you need to be able to take good photos that people want to buy that are better than what they're going to get with their DSLRs learning from me standing in the front row. Rob Cox, how do I get people to stop asking me to take photos for them? My hobby is a hobby, and I hate the idea of getting paid. Well, then don't tell anybody you're a photographer. Don't put anything on social media. Don't put anything out there into the world, and just say, I only shoot photos for the love of photography.
I shoot them for secret.
And that's it. Ian Shroom Burgess. Hey, Todd and Steven. Got a problem with video editing and hoping you can help. I've shot video in 60 frames and on a 30-frame timeline. It's super smooth, but if I try to slow the footage down by 50% to 30 frames, it's really jumpy. Any help would be welcome. Ian.
Then he didn't shoot at that frame rate. It should look great.
It seems like you shot it at 30 frames then, and you're slowing it down to 15 at that point. It should conform. Your 60 should conform to 30. But you could still slow it down. It shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, I mean, if you shot at 60 and your timeline is 30, you should be able to slow it down by half, and it should be super smooth.
It should be fine.
Yeah.
That's odd. It seems like he didn't shoot it really at 60.
Something, either your timeline's wrong or your frame rate's off, or maybe make sure it's rendered out.
I mean, make sure you're also doing the frame sampling and that it's actually playing frame by frame.
Yeah,
30 frames.
What you're trying to do, if you did everything you're saying, it should absolutely look butter smooth.
TJ Oxidine.
Hello, Jared, Steven, and Todd. This is Tim from Johnson City, Tennessee. I want to get your thoughts on leaving a camera lens attached to the body while it's stored in your camera bag. Thanks for all the content and the video guides. Thank you.
So he's asking, what do I think about keeping the lens attached while it's in your camera bag? I do that. I don't put on a super long lens. I usually keep my 24-70 on it if I'm using my own iShoot RAW bag, store.FroKnowsPhoto.com. I keep the lens on the body. Now, if I'm transporting it and we're flying somewhere and we're traveling,
if you need the room,
I take everything and break it down and do that. There's no problem doing it on the body.
Yep.
So that's your flying solo. Let's get to the wheel. Let's get to the Wheel of Fro. On the wheel this week, we've got store.FroKnowsPhoto.com to get my t-shirts. You can go to Rode. Oh, and currently you can get 2 shirts for $20 plus a free lens cloth.
Oh,
that's a $55 value. Rode microphones. Each and every week we use Rode microphones. We'll be going to Vegas at some point.
Yeah, soon.
And we'll figure the rest out later. Lexar Media. We use Lexar cards in each and every camera, from the micro SD to SD to compact flash to XQD to CFast. I named them all.
Yes,
My
you did.
face, Hoya. We've got FroKnowsPhoto.com/guides to get all of our...
Thank you.
Look at the friggin' track.
You know, it's a shame that Barb K's not here right now. Okay, keep going. Squarespace.com/fro. Squarespace.com/fro to get your 14-day free trial. Videoblocks.com/go/fro. Store.FroKnowsPhoto.com to pick up my bag.
Yes.
You got Rode microphone. Kessler Crane. Go to KesslerCrane.com/fro. Use the code FRO10 to get 10% off. You got Spin Again. Oh, and I can't wait till we move over and we can get the crane over there.
Yeah.
Spin
We say it
Again.
every week.
Well, we plan on moving on the 22nd. Officially moving that shit. Canon, you win a printer. AdoramaPix.com. Get your prints done there. Fro Guide for video editing. Think Tank Photo. And audioblocks.com/go/fro. Let's spin the wheel for a very lucky person that I'll name after we spin the wheel.
Let's do it.
Let's keep it secret.
Yeah. Nice scarf.
Spin that wheel!
Ooh.
Around and round it goes. Where it stops, Nobody knows the Wheel of Fro is about to stop on.
Oh, please.
Please. Oh. Congratulations to Mr. Steven Sanchez.
What?
Congratulations, you have won something from Rode, so you can use it in your videos that you make on the YouTube.
That's actually perfect for him.
That is perfect for him.
Let's get to the memes.
Let's do it.
Now we're up to the memes section where you can send in memes to the best address ever, singwillofro@gmail.com.
Which nobody sings on anymore.
Nobody sings on because
Glad we're
whatever.
playing that out.
The first meme is?
Well, the first one is from our friend Steven Sanchez, who just won a Rode microphone. This is Fro Knows Comics. And I probably think we should probably voice this right now.
Okay.
What's this?
It's your new Fro earring.
And why would I wear this?
Why? To increase brand awareness.
He gave me one, too.
So where's yours?
It's on my taint. You want it back, Jared?
No, because it's tainted. Get it? Ha ha!
Shut up, Dan!
Damn.
And that was Fro Knows Comics via Steven Sanchez. I would say that he is
incredible.
He has set the bar out there.
Man, dude, he's good.
The next one is
I
from...
like how I look like Charlie Brown, by the way.
The next one is from Chris Starkey. This is called Flickering Lights. Unfortunately, when you read the box, it says fuckering lights.
I was like, what the hell is a fuckering light?
And trust me, we do appreciate everybody that realizes that we're children and just sends in funny stuff. The next one is from Connor Drew. It's the Fro Porsche.
Oh, that's
Boom.
funny. Perfect.
Next one is from Cyrus Arthur. It's the White House photographer job. Of course I'd hire Jared as the White House photographer. He has great hair and is always talking about crushing the blacks.
Oh.
The next one is from Deval Panchel. It's the mountain cock. This has cock on the mountaintop. Cock on the mountaintop. Next one is from Donald Ping. It's nothing for Christmas. Apparently, he left his camera out, and the little one got a hold of it. So was she getting a camera for Daddy for Christmas?
And a Hoya filter.
That's funny.
Next one is from Edgar Tellez. Who wore it better? Next one is from, this one's from Frank and Jared. This one's called Frank and Jared, Egon Ansberg.
That's scary.
If Jared would work alone, the Fro no
photer?
I don't know what the hell that's.
Oh, like the Terminator, I guess, maybe. I don't know. But is that you and
I think it's me, right? It's like
it's you and Jared.
Oh, it's Todd's.
It's my eye, Jared's eye, and Todd's
chin.
But whose nose is that? Is that your nose, Jared?
Yeah, that's my Drew nose.
The next one is just Fro Knows Photo. It's an illustration by Jordan Leah from JL Swift Design.
It's pretty good.
Just a little sketch of, not the most important people from the show, but it's an okay picture from what I can see. The next one is from George Andre. It's 9 to 5. We actually got this sent in by a couple people, so it must be floating around the internet.
Unbelievable.
Next one's from Greg Cook. Battle of the Biceps. He's definitely crushing it more than Jared from what I can see.
No, he's not.
Clearly.
Clearly.
Jared.
I mean, keep in mind, he's probably... That guy's probably like 6 foot. Jared's like 5'3".
Exactly. He looks like he's much bigger,
way bigger.
so he should have bigger arms. His arms aren't that big. Look at the size of my guns, man.
No, dude. No.
Not even
he's
close.
probably crushing it.
Not even
close. He's wearing a men's large where you're wearing a women's medium.
It's medium.
Next one is from Keith Fusco. It's the Breakfast Club.
Who's in is that Ken Rockwell?
That actually looks like my hair. It is Ken Rockwell, yeah.
I thought it was Joe.
I thought it was Joe, too.
No, that's Ken Rockwell.
But what's funny is Emilio Estevez is there, and he never shows up for the reunion.
Yeah, I don't know why Emilio is in there.
Should have been Dan. Next one is Matt Perry, 90s Raw Jams.
Maybe if I play along, I won't have to do photo news anymore.
Gift giving 2016, hashtag crushed it. This is what I get for never saying I'll never wear that jersey. And the next one is from Paul from the UK. It's fish assholes. What does everybody want for Krish? A good old can of fish assholes.
Not just any fish assholes, Todd. Manhattan style.
Oh my
fish
God.
assholes.
Exactly. Next one's from Robert Kenny. It's Fro Says.
What does the fro say?
It says, Steven says crown.
Todd says
Hoya. Dan says so we can't figure it out because he never gets it the fuck out of his mouth.
And he doesn't have a microphone, so I can't hear him.
Exactly. And the last one is the dance.
Oh, Jesus. Don't break another chair, Todd. Ooh. I keep looking at the Dyson.
My question
What's
is,
the helmet for?
Does she wear the helmet when she vacuums? Is my question. This is our friend Maria. Check her out, Maria Shapley on YouTube.
Wait,
that's her.
There's nothing wrong with posting this because it's posted on YouTube, right?
Exactly. But my question is as well is who broke her window?
Barbie K.
Were they trying to steal the helmet and the vacuum? What's happening?
Oh man.
Well, the lines aren't straight.
Oh wait, her thing fell down. Her strap fell down. Maria, careful. Now don't put that strap up. Don't put that strap up. Perfect. Yeah, you ruined it now. Now I have to start over. Anyways, that's Maria. That's the dance. That's our new Rickroll.
All right, that's it. That's enough of that.
That's the best.
Well, it's on YouTube, so if it's on YouTube, I guess you can do whatever you want with it. And Todd does do whatever he wants.
Oh, yes, he does.
So that's episode 208. You can get all the photo news stories and more at FroKnowsPhoto.com/RAWtalk-208. Let's see what the hashtags are. Dan's smiling like he's funny.
Smallest piece of paper again.
Hashtag crush edit. Hashtag call back. Hashtag call forward. Hashtag 3 shots or less. Hashtag library crowns. Hashtag town crotch.
Thank you for that, Dan. It's the proudest moment right now.
Unbelievable.
And by the way, if you want to get in Christmas, most important holiday, Christmas memes, send them in immediately because we're going to be filming our Christmas special, Best Holiday Ever, episode Monday.
Well, they have not a lot of time to send those in.
They have
Todd,
no time.
because when we put this out on Sunday night, they have until Monday morning.
Yeah, so don't go to sleep.
That's it.
That's what Steven does.
That's it. If you want to send in new memes, you better send them in really quick to singwheeloffro@gmail.com. Anything else you guys would like to add after this episode?
Nothing.
I got amazing Christmas presents.
I already gave you guys your presents.
I know, you ruined the whole segment.
A
Impatient.
month early.
I get gifts and I give them right away.
So
he just wanted to wear his... he couldn't wait.
That's exactly what it was.
I wonder if my dad's going to wear it tonight down here.
Oh, I hope he does.
I like it. So I'll be there around 3. I'm like,
What does
Dad,
his say
dinner's at
on
7.
the back?
Fro's father. That's what he likes. That's what he said. So when we meet somebody on the streets, he's like, I'm Fro's father. Okay. So then he'll get Fro's father on the back of his jersey.
I'm Fro's father. Are you hungry? I've got apples.
Shut up, Tom. That's it. Thank you to everybody out there. Matthew Stands. Hopefully your stuff is downstairs right now.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully. We can't wait to buy more of them for the Fro Factory.
Maybe use them for the next show.
That's it. Let's get out of here.
Let's do it.
Jared Polin. Sit the hell down, Dan. Where are you going?
Where do you have to go?
You eat Todd's cake. That's for you, by the way. Jared Polin. FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.
Yeah, man. Give me that cake. Give me that cake right there, man.